Hello and welcome back to another edition of This Old Car. Today is just going to be a quick little oil change video. It's the 2011 Ford Flex. Nothing too special. So I've got the ramp set up. I tried to show this on the Saturn vehicle, but as is life, I got interrupted and had to change how I was going to do things and didn't end up putting it up on the ramps before I started working, so I couldn't continue to show you how to do that. So here, I've got the ramps lined up with the front wheels there. And there. So next is to go ahead and drive the vehicle up the ramps. Now, for safety's sake, I would advocate that you have someone guide you up the ramps, somebody with more experience with it. You drive up the ramp until you stop driving up, and then you're on the top of the flat part of the ramp. So let's see how it goes. So we're inside the vehicle, got it up and running. As you can see, check engine light, the tire pressure sensor fault. Tire pressure sensor is not something I'm too concerned with, although I do have a nail in a tire I need to remove and patch. I might throw that on the end of this video or at some point I'll get around to it. Check engine light, I'm not really sure what that is. It's been intermediate, but this car has already had a new engine put in it. No, I didn't do the work. Way too involved. I was working full time when it happened and didn't have time to do it myself. And as much as everybody likes to meme the extended warranty, it paid for a new engine for this car, so I didn't have to. Not completely, anyway. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and put the car in drive and proceed slowly but surely up the ramps. Let's see how it goes. And gaining elevation. Up, up, up. Up, 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 and on the ramps. It's not easy. You have to do it real smooth, steady, slow. You can't just slam on the gas or you're going to end up driving off the other side of the ramps, damaging your car more than likely, unless you're using a pickup where the ramps actually sit clear of the body. On this, it could be pretty disastrous. So I went ahead and put the car in park. Let's get out and see where we're sitting on the ramps. Now, that is as good as you're going to get on that ramp. There. And there. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, so got the hood popped. Got this old moving blanket here. Put it down because I really feel like getting that dirty today. And I'm going to get covered in oil anyway. So, we've got like some oil leakage going on at least a little bit. This Ford Flex is pretty low, but our driveway is pretty awkward as well. Yeah, back towards transmission. Got a fair amount of oil back here as well. So, honestly, hard to say what's going on with any of this. As I said, had a engine put back in this because the original factory engine blew up. Completely detonated. When that happened a couple of years ago, it blew up so bad it killed the turbos as well. So they put in new turbos, or at least that's what I was told. And there's one right there. And back in there somewhere. Hold on a second. Alright, so I had to turn my flash on for any of this to actually come through on camera. So we got drive shaft there. Now this flex is actually all-wheel drive. And haven't been under it in a while, so I figured I'd take a look and see what was going on down here. There's a lot of drippage, seepage, something. It's kind of hard to tell where this is really coming from. And I've lost the light because using your cell phone underneath the car, it gets pretty hot pretty quick. So I'm actually going to leave this up here on these ramps for a little bit to let it cool. What I am going to do once I shut the camera off is grab my oil rag and try wiping some of this down and seeing how bad it really is, or if it's going to be something I need to address here soon. It almost seems like the drain bolt there for the oil pan is not tightened all the way, if I would say so myself. We'll see. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, got everything went down, and the drain bolt on the Ford Flex is a 15. Break this loose. A little bit percussive maintenance. Yeah. And make sure that you line up your drain pan with your drain hole. Realize that we are at an angle, as well as all the oil being rather hot. So back it out. Ooh. Get the bolt on the camera. See if I'm going to get a first or second degree burn from all this oil. Now, what I do is run it out by hand. Some people will drop it. But if you run it out by hand, get it to the very end, and once you get it to the very end, pull the bolt out of the way. Hold on to it. Try to let the engine be cooled down. I'd say something 45 minutes to an hour after a short trip, just so that you have good flow. Alright, one of the other things we can do to help the situation. One of the other things we can do here is also remove your oil fill cap, as that'll open the system up. And something I learned as a plumber is that, you know, without airflow, you're not going to get good drainage. So clean off our bolt here. Now it was on there pretty tight, so yeah, see, it's got a nice little seal there, and we're going to get that all nice and cleaned up. Be right back. Alright, back underneath the car. Still draining oil, as you can see here. Still draining out pretty good. And here is our oil filter. Now, that is a Speedy oil replacement place. Did the last oil change, if I'm not mistaken. So, it's got a VO88 checker replacement filter. It's sitting nearby. It's STP. Seems about the same. And then there's our high mileage STP Oil, Arma, no sponsorships. Alright, so we're doing this. I'll wait for that to clear out a little bit more, because what I typically do, once the oil has drained, has gone to less of a stream and more to a drip, I tend to get the bolt, put it back in the hole, and move the catch pan underneath the oil filter, just in case there's an excess amount of oil. Keep it off the ground, try to take care of the environment. So we're waiting on that. We go ahead and grab our funnel. So we're using a nice clean funnel into our oil fill. Nice 5-quart bottle. Now, important to remember, folks, is to look at your information here. It'll tell you a lot about your vehicle. It's a 3.5 liter coupe. And all that. One of the other information stickers will usually tell you, it's probably this one that you can't read, what the actual oil capacity is outside of the owner's manual. So, I think it's 5 quarts on this, something like that. So, what I like to do, new oil filter, is get a little bit of new oil, put it on our O-ring so we get a nice good seal on it. Sorry, not used to trying to watch the camera. A little bit on the threads, it's nice and clean. That way, you don't know how long these oil filters sit around in the stores. That gasket could be dried out and may not seat right, may leak initially. So we want every advantage we can get. To try to add a little additive to the filter here, just so the filter has a little volume to it on the first startup. Now this is high performance gear oil with an anti-wear protection. So what I'm hoping is to extend the life of the valve train and all the components by adding some anti-wear protection. It's usually in the form of zinc. After I get the oil change taken care of, I will probably buy some zinc additive to add to this vehicle, just to try to keep this engine from detonating like the last one did. Alright, back under. Alright, so our oil in real time is yet to stop running. It's one of the reasons I like to either jack a vehicle up or run up on ramps, depending on where your drain plug is for your oil pan. Helps drain more oil out faster. So there's that. Alright, let's give this a couple more minutes. Oh, starting to weaken. Give this a couple more minutes and get that bolt back in, move the drain pan over and change this oil filter. So we're back. And it was just about stopped trickling out. And as is the case with so many real life endeavors, this job is getting expedited due to the ever fluid makeup of everyday people's lives. So my wife's youngest brother got called into work, so down to a drip, run our drain bolt back in. Finger tight. Grab our 15mm wrench and tighten it down. Now you don't really need to torque the hell out of a drain bolt. You just need to go tight, and, maybe a quarter of a turn. So that you have a good seal. Now we can move on to the actual oil filter, which here on the front side of the engine, just about opposite of where the drain bolt was. Now, the oil filter shouldn't be on too tight, but it is still rather warm. Ooh, creaky, creaky. And my hands are actually pretty oily. So, I'll put you down for just a second. Hey Grant, can you go grab me a washcloth out of the bathroom? Now, not sure what image you'll have. I won't know until I edit the video together. But currently, I cannot get a good grip on this oil filter. And I don't know off the top of my head where oil filter wrench is. So, tried and true method of having someone go grab a rag so I can get a decent purchase and grip on this oil filter. Typically when I send somebody to go get something, I'm done with the task before they ever get back with what I asked for. Because I don't stop trying to do whatever it is I'm doing. I just know that's how it goes sometimes. Thank you. A rag in hand. That oil change, please. Put that on there tight. Tighter than necessary, I'll tell you that. Oil filters aren't always supposed to be on hand tight, technically. Goodness. Alright. Just angle my grip a little bit. Nope. Well, stay tuned. I go dig out an oil filter wrench. So, small disaster. Trying to do things the quote-unquote old school way. With a screwdriver into the oil filter, it not work out too well. Stay tuned. Have no fear, task is complete. Alright, welcome back. So, sorry I didn't catch the last little bit of that on camera. Brother-in-law had to get to work, so had to expedite the process a little bit. But got the oil put in, the oil filter on. One thing I did want to say is beware the quick change, oil change places. So much damage I had to do to get a pair of pliers on this oil filter. It's totally unnecessarily too tight. So I'd like to say, that's an oil change. Just be cautious when dealing with something that you weren't the last person to touch. And also, probably wear gloves. That's a nice little, probably, 1.5 degree, 2nd degree burn blister from the oil drain plug bolt. So remember, folks, just keep doing it. Wow. Thanks for watching. And it's Josh with This Is All. Blah, 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 blah. I'm Josh with This Old Car. This was the oil change on the 2011 Ford Flex. So, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Help me grow the channel. I'll keep bringing you content.